Today we're making macaroni and cheese croquettes. I will put the recipe for you down below in the description box so you will have that. And you're going to need some cooked elbow macaroni. So you need 3 cups of cooked elbow macaroni. So you probably saw me preparing that in the introduction. And then you're going to need some grated American cheese. But again, the recipe will be available for you down below in the description box. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to make a sauce of the oil, the cornstarch, that made a mess, the milk, and just whisk this all together till it's really smooth. It wants a few grains of mustard. I almost dropped that. So I'm adding about 1/8 of a teaspoon. The salt, the paprika, and just a dash of Worcestershire. That's a little bit more than a dash, but. Okay, so we're going to heat this over about medium heat. Honestly, it says to do this over hot water, but I'm impatient. So I'm heating this over medium heat until it starts to thicken up, and then we'll add the cheese. Okay, so it thickened up pretty quick. I had my heat up pretty high. And it's pretty thick, so I'm just going to add the cheese, and we're going to cook it until the cheese is melted. And if it gets too thick, you might have to add a little bit more milk. So mine looks about like that. I did add a little bit extra milk because it was really thick. So just melt your cheese. It does say that the sauce will be very, very thick. So this is a pretty thick sauce. All right, let's take this off the heat, and I'll see you over there. All right, I'm going to add my cooked macaroni to this bowl, and I'm going to pour my really thick sauce over it. I'm gonna add the egg yolk to this once I get it combined a little bit better, because I don't want my egg yolk to cook. All right, I've got my egg yolk in here. So let's just add that and quickly stir it in. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to chill this, and then we're going to form it into balls. All right, I'm just going to set this in the fridge to chill, and we'll check on it in a couple minutes. Okay, so my hands are clean, and I'm just going to scoop up some of this macaroni and hopefully form it into a ball. It doesn't say how big to make these or how many to make. These are not cold. So I'm making them about the size of, I'm just doing about a palmful of macaroni and cheese. And I screwed up because I realized that the recipe says the macaroni noodles should have been chopped, and I didn't chop mine. So I'm hoping this works. But just so you know, chop your noodles before you add them to the sauce, because I think they'll hold their shape a little bit better that way. I think after I form these into a ball, I'm going to stick them back in the fridge so they're nice and cold. I think they'll hold their shape a little bit better. This is kind of a pain in the... Okay, I had to get another plate. Dan put the plate full of balls in the freezer for just a few minutes. I think getting them really cold will help them firm up, and I think having the macaroni chopped will also help it hold its shape a little bit better than it being in the elbow shape. So don't be an idiot like me and chop your pasta. Okay, this is kind of messy and a little weird. Not gonna lie, it feels a little weird to do this. Okay, Dan, can you put that in the freezer? And I'm not freezing these solid, I'm just getting them nice and cold. I have a bowl with plain breadcrumbs, and then I have my egg white in here, and I'm just going to mix 1/3 of a cup of water in with the egg white, and I'm gonna whisk it all together. And what we'll do is we'll dip the balls, once they come out of the freezer, we'll dip them into the breadcrumbs, into the egg white water mixture, and then back into the breadcrumbs, and then into the hot fat. Let me show you. Over here, I have a pot with some vegetable oil heating up in it. This vegetable oil is heated up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And so we're gonna fry our balls in the oil, and then we will drain them on this cookie sheet lined with paper towels. All right, so let's give those balls 5 minutes. And I'll see you guys then. I really hope this works. So I'm coating the balls in breadcrumbs, and then I'm taking them out and I'm carefully putting them in the egg white and water mixture, and they are not really holding their shape very well. Taking it out and I'm putting it back in the breadcrumbs. Some of these are holding their shape a little bit better than the others. Okay, so I'm about to drop one of the balls into the oil. I'm gonna lower it down in. It doesn't say how long to cook these for, but I would just cook them until they're golden brown. And don't crowd your pot or it'll lower the temperature of your oil. It looks like they're cooking pretty quickly. And then flip them when they're ready to be flipped. Okay, and then when they are done, just pop them onto your paper towels and let them drain and cool a little bit. And once you get them starting to fry up, they hold their shape a little bit better, which is nice. They have that protective crust on them.
Oh my God, that smells amazing. It's a good thing it's lunchtime. Hey Molly, what do you have here? Anything is better fried.
Dan, these are fried macaroni and cheese, I believe it's pronounced croquettes.
Oh.
And basically fried macaroni and cheese balls.
Wow, that's interesting.
So we're in Washington State in Western Washington, and there is a ranch house, a barbecue place, about 20 minutes outside of town. And they actually make, they're a much larger version of these, but they make these. And I was really surprised to find this recipe in one of my old cookbooks, so I thought, of course I have to try it. Now,
and they were delicious out there too. That's one of my favorite places to eat.
They're really good. So let's just, they're not too hot, just grab it and bite in. Somebody here?
No, somebody must have walked by.
So they're really good.
All I have to say is, oh my God, those are delicious.
I think I would like a little bit more spice in my macaroni and cheese ball. So maybe like some pepper. The recipe didn't call for pepper, so I think I would add a little bit more pepper to this. But I screwed up and didn't chop the pasta like they said to, and I think it would have made this a lot easier to compact into a ball had the pasta been chopped. So because some of them did kind of come apart and were hard to keep into a ball shape. So just remember to chop your pasta. And other than that, they're great. Crunchy and creamy macaroni and cheese on the inside with a little crispy crust. These are good.
They're delicious.
I'm going to be making these again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and putting them in the freezer, making sure that mixture is nice and cold. So after you form your balls, maybe put them back in the fridge and just make sure they're nice and cold. Also seem to help have them hold their shape. So those are my 2 tips for this. Follow the recipe and keep them cold. But other than that, they're great. And I just fried these in vegetable oil. So
it's a 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, these are easy. These are
delicious.
We can make them ahead of time too. You can eat more. No. a little messy to eat, but they're really good. These would be really good as a surprise treat for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And you could use, I used white American cheese because the recipe called for American cheese, but you could use really whatever kind of cheese you want. These would be good with pepper jack cheese or sharp cheddar. Yeah.
Definitely pepper jack. Or jalapeno.
Oh yeah. All right. So if you like this recipe and you want to see more vintage recipes like this macaroni and cheese croquettes, then please subscribe and hit the like button. I upload new content every Friday, and Dan and I are always here taste testing vintage recipes.
Bye, everybody.
Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.